you felt it. The dark side. And the light.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back inside the review. It's been a while, so stay a while, and let's get into this short-ish but sweet, spoiler-free review of the recently released, Star Wars The Force Awakens, helmed by the much-loved lens flare master, J.J. Abrams. Now, while I might not have been born when the first three episodes were released, I am old enough to appreciate them and their place in pop culture and cinema history, which is why, like most of you, I vomited after episodes 1 and 2 were released. I do appreciate episode 3 because its strengths played to my likes, but even so, there was so much wrong with it that I can't count it beside the original trilogy. Aside from the oft-maligned portrayal of Anakin Skywalker by Hayden Christensen, the world itself was full of much too much bling. In the prequels, everything felt brand new and shiny. Everything was Chronicles of Riddick when it should have been pitch black. The original trilogy had a lived-in feeling that it seems Abrams tried and succeeded to bring to the old school feel of this world without the need for Sesame Street puppets. That isn't to say that the original trilogy didn't have its flaws. It had them in spades. You ever watched the original movies? Rewatched them? I cringe at the plot holes, the campy vibe, and the rehashing of old story devices every time I see them. But I still enjoy the hell out of those movies because they still have something special, and I don't just mean nostalgia. One thing I did enjoy about the prequels was the lightsaber duels. While it can be said that they were a little too choreographed, I preferred them to the I'm playing with swords with my brother in the backyard feel of the original trilogy. These were Jedi masters and Sith lords, masters of their craft, trained from an early age. I need to see that. I need to see that training. I need to see that talent and dedication, the skill, but it doesn't have to look like a dance either. And here again, Abrams and crew succeeds. Without giving anything away, the duels were exactly what they were supposed to be, given the story being told. Now, as I'm recording this, The Force Awakens sits at 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and while I never judge a movie based on the tomato meter, it's very rare that a movie that retains such a high score isn't worth your dollars. The original trilogy sits at 94, and 80% respectively, which is only slightly off from what I would give those movies personally. Right now, if I had to rate all the movies in order of most enjoyed to least, it would be episode 5 or 7, episode 4, 5 or 7, 3 or 6, 3 or 6, 2, and then 1. I'm having a difficult time divorcing myself from the cinema chops of today that imbues episode 7 with that edge over episode 5. But let's talk character development. There is barely any, unfortunately, but it's Star Wars, so that's to be expected. By the end of the movie, you're left with almost as many questions about what drives these characters as you had in the beginning. Obviously, that's the risk you run when creating a cinematic universe. There are stories to be told over a long period of time, so giving everything away would only hurt you. I do wish there was more development, though, especially for the actual lead of the movie, Rey. By the way, Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, phenomenal. She has a strength and charm about her that sucks you in, and she's altogether believable as a fighter and overall hero. But again, the character development leaves much to be desired. The other new faces are refreshing. I say that using every meaning imaginable. Diversity in spades throughout the entire movie, but the other major characters, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, John Boyega as Finn, and Oscar Isaac as Poe, are all remarkably talented and provide a sincerity and earnestness, a believable earnestness, that I don't think was present in the original trilogy, and sure as hell not in the prequels. On a personal note, I think Adam Driver is my favorite right now. He knocks it out of the park. Out of everybody else, you get a sense of what he's feeling the most. His desires, his past, even his future. What we don't know about him will be fleshed out, of course, but I didn't leave feeling like he was dealt a bad hand like I did with the rest of them, as far as his character being fleshed out. His villainy reminds me of Loki from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or closer to home, Darth Vader. Empathy is key. So what about CGI? Yeah, there's a lot of it. Duh. It's a movie about a war in space with aliens and lasers and magic and light speed travel. Yeah, there's CGI. But how does it feel? It feels at home, at least to me. Like I said earlier, it doesn't feel all shiny and ridiculous. It feels like this might be in a place similar to the deserts, the tundras, and the jungles of Earth. It feels real, or as real as this kind of movie can feel. It didn't distract me or take away from the practical aspects one bit, in my opinion anyway. I will say one thing about it that many may not like, but I feel like I should say. If you've seen episode 4, you've seen episode 7. From an aerial, far-away view, it seems like basically the same movie, but reimagined for today's audiences. I don't say this as a negative, though, because I enjoyed the absolute shit out of this movie, but I did kind of want something a little different in certain areas that I can't really get into. Especially toward the end, what needs to be done is just, well, let's just say bigger doesn't always mean better. But at the same time, it doesn't always mean worse either, so it's fine. Like any and every other Star Wars movie, it has its flaws, but none of them matter at the end of the day. Fantastic movie, fantastic experience, 100% recommended. Although I'm sure all of you have already seen it. I'm sure your future kids have already seen it by this point. I'm late to the party, I know. But go see it again. I sure as hell will. We'll watch it together. Inside the review.
I'm in heaven.
I think we've worn the suit out probably quicker than we expected, because every time you meet someone, they just want to hug you.
Getting back to the old days, the old ways of doing things.
JJ's trying to make sure these movies have a physicality to them. We truly are out in a desert, a real desert.
Star Wars. I'd burn for Star Wars.
And I'm just going to bring this character to life.
You don't get to build an X-Wing every day or a Millennium Falcon. Every day I come to work smiling.
Energy and action!
You have to pause, take a breath, slow down, and really not freak out.
I was in the same room as all these legends and with all these new people who I'm sure will go on to be legends themselves.
You know, it's being done with such love and such enthusiasm from everybody, and I think that you'll be able to feel that coming off the screen.
It means so much to so many people.
You just know what it's going to be like in the cinema.
Star Wars is an important part of everyone's history. It's a beautiful thing to actually be involved in it.